We are Tuesday talk, the team talk for the month of July, and the 4th of July is tomorrow. There's a lot happening this month, but I'm pretty pumped about it. I know Joy's pumped about it. And I don't know, Summit was last month, and we had a lot of good ideas, and I've been thinking a lot about stretch goals and really what our team is capable of, and I think it's kind of time to rise to our potential. So what we're doing this month is going to be really, really good for new coaches. And it's also going to be really, really good for like seasoned coaches. I'm going to be doing this. Joy's going to be doing it. But before we get into the bingo thing and July's corporate challenge, what is it called? Beat your best? Beat your best, right? I'm looking right at it. I've been talking about it all day and now I lose it in my mind. I did want to talk a little bit quickly about just goal setting and I guess chasing after things that you don't necessarily feel capable of. So when you look at going into your month or your year or what you want to do with your business as a brand new coach, I want you to overcommit and then be okay with figuring it out as you go. We tell new coaches all the time that they really slow themselves down and you get tripped up when you're focused on learning everything rather than just taking action. I would like you to do less learning, more implementing, and July is going to be all about that, all about implementing. So, and then for the more seasoned coaches who've been around a while, I want you to remember that you cannot have a terrible year if you consistently have good weeks. So in my own business, and I know that everyone else can relate to this, you have some weeks that are worse than others, but if you don't let those weeks turn into months, you're still going to have a good year overall, always. If it's when you consistently allow, and the key word there is allow, bad months to happen, things start to fall apart. So we always have a choice, right? This week I decided I'm going to hit Success Club before the 4th of July, and I did it just because I decided, where I could have decided I'm going to get after some business goals, after the holiday, after we get back from Vegas, because I would like to enjoy myself first. So just remember, if you have a couple bad days or even you have a bad week, it's not the end of the world. Just don't let that turn into months. It's the same thing with fitness. You can eat bad for a few days and skip your workout. It's when you do it for weeks on end that things fall apart. So keep that in mind. And the other thing is that once you start fueling your momentum a little bit, whether you're a new coach, seasoned coach, whatever, you have to feed that consistency even after you feel the momentum. So I see a lot of coaches feed their goals, they're consistently working their business, and then they create some momentum and they feel good, so they naively think that they can kind of back down and that momentum will carry them. And that's almost never true. Even the top coaches will tell you they consistently work their business every day. It doesn't change. It doesn't slow down. You have to keep feeding what you're doing constantly if you want it to continue growing. Okay, and if you are taking notes, I want you to write this down. Our limiting beliefs are constantly looking for a story to justify our fears. So when we talk about goal setting in a minute, and I'm going to give you guys some big goals for the month of July, I want you to keep in mind that we all harbor these self-limiting beliefs. And mine, I've shared many times, is a fear of earning money. I just, for whatever reason, feel probably growing up in church, earning money is a bad thing, which we all know is not true. Money can't be good or bad. It's an inanimate object. So my self-limiting belief is the more income I earn, I'm a bad person or something. That's absolutely untrue. But if I allow that belief to take hold, then I'm constantly going to be looking for some kind of story to justify that. Or you might think I'm a bad leader, so therefore I shouldn't try and grow a team. Well, if you think that, then you're going to find a reason to actually believe that and grab hold of it. You'll always be looking for something to justify that, because your mind wants to keep you safe. It wants you to keep you in this tiny box that it's used to, so that you don't have to experience anything good or bad. It's just status quo. And we don't want that for you. So in the month of July, I want you to create some like urgent goals for yourself. If you're a new coach, that could be, I am going to finish a program like 21 Day Fix or a 3-day refresh or something that I know I can fit into this month. And I'm going to hit Success Club 5. Like, it's doable. We'll teach you how. We'll talk about that later. But create some like urgent goals with a deadline. And then know that goals aren't always just meant to be reached. They're kind of just meant to stretch you. Like, I set a goal this month that I know I'm not going to hit. Well, I don't want to say that because I believe in myself. But I mean, I set a huge goal knowing that like pushing for that is going to stretch me. I might not get there, but at least trying is going to stretch me further than I've ever done. And in the process, I will grow my business. So when we show you this bingo tracker, it might be a little bit scary, but know that it's just meant to stretch you and you can totally do it. None of this stuff is hard. It's just taking action. Joy, do you want to add anything to that?
No, I'm sitting here like, preach it, sister, preach it.
Okay, good. Well, I'm going to get into it and I'm going to show you the tracker. And we're going to go over what you get to do all month of July, and I'm going to kind of stop on each item and talk about it a little bit. It might take me a second to pull up. Let's see. Hold on.
The Life Coach School podcast talks a lot about your mindset and how whatever thoughts you have about things, your brain then takes that as its job to go to work to prove those thoughts true.
Mm-hmm.
So if you think, I can't do this, then your brain's going to start telling you things like, well, you don't actually need to send that invite, or you don't actually need to do your power hour, because it's trying to prove that true. So with you talking about that, I was thinking of all of her podcasts and her talking about like, you got to start thinking and being aware of your own thoughts. Like, what are your thoughts about it? Do you even know?
Yeah, no. Yeah. And we're going to talk about affirmations in a minute, because every time you have a thought that contradicts where you ultimately want to go with your life, you have to counteract that thought with some sort of affirmation about yourself and where you're going, because your subconscious mind is like a data collector, and your head will always talk louder than your heart. So like you embrace these ideas or philosophies or things that you've come to believe because of repetition, because over the years you've repeatedly thought the same thought or had the same emotional experience. Like maybe your emotional experience with money was negative. So over time that was beat into your brain, and that's what you believe. The only way to shift your self-limiting beliefs is through repetition and a positive emotional experience. Like you can only undo what's done by repetition in the opposite direction. So it's constantly saying things like, one of my affirmations is, I am worthy of building a 6-figure income. I am creating the business that builds our dream life. Like things like that are okay to say, but you have to say them out loud so that they can soak in and like saturate your mindset. Okay, so screen share. This is meant, we've done bingo in the past, and this bingo board is meant to not only just like help you win prizes and grow your business, but in a way be a outline for the month. Can you guys see this okay? Is it big enough? Okay.
So cute, Ashley. Good job.
Oh, thank you, Joy. Okay. So if you wanted to break this bingo board down, you could be like, okay, here's July, week 1, week 2, week 3, and week 4. We have some of the same stuff every week, and some things are new. So publicly share your why for becoming a coach or a piece of your story. So if you're a brand new coach, this would be a great way to X off this box and put a dot in the bingo hole would be to share a coming out post. Like, why are you excited about joining the team, or what made you decide that, or what's been your experience so far? Like anything simple, you would be able to dot that off. Attend a coach sneak peek and invite 5 people to join you. This is easy because we have the Girl Boss Glimpse page that's constantly going on. So you can add someone to that any day of the week. And we also have July 19th, we're going to be going live in that page with kind of like an invite to the business in a live setting. And we're giving prizes. So we're incentivizing not just coaches to invite, but people who are already in that page to bring their friends too. So if you invite 5 people between now and July 19th, shouldn't be hard. You get to to X that off. Publicly commit to a program and share your progress. So if you're doing 80-day obsession, what was your progress like last week to this week? I didn't put this in here, but I think you could also publicly share like a customer's transformation. That would be okay too. Like if you did a transformation Tuesday of yourself. And if you don't have a transformation, this is where you publicly commit. Say, I am doing this new 8-week program and I only have to work out 4 days a week. I can't wait to share how it goes. Like whatever you want to say. Join Rock the Business this month and follow along with the training. I've said many times I grew fast in my business because I did Rock the Business. For whatever reason, our team has kind of gotten away from joining that with Team Rockstar Fit as a whole. It does launch the first. It should be launching right after the 4th this month, actually. So if you go to the Team Rockstar Fit page and join that training and follow along, you'll be able to X off that box. Okay, so write out 3 or more affirmations and read them out loud. We just talked about affirmations. They're so important. And I want you to get in the habit of every day, hopefully, but at least once a week, write out your affirmations, read them out loud to yourself. Joy and I did that. Joy just told me actually that she stands outside and yells them on the balcony in the morning, and her neighbors probably think she's nuts. Joy, do you want to share some of yours just because your neighbors think you're crazy?
My book is in the kitchen. Let me grab it and I'll bring it back.
Yeah, she was telling me she goes outside and she like just says them out loud, and her neighbors probably think she's a crazy person at 6 a.m. But these are really important. So figure out your affirmations and a good outline. Like if you're wondering how do I go about this? The way I did it is you would say, I am worthy of blank, something related to your business. So I said, I am worthy of building a 6-figure income. I am capable of, you fill in the blank. I said, I am capable of maxing out my Diamond Team Cycle bonus and earning $2,000 a week. But you insert whatever you want. It might be, I am capable of finishing a program. And then you could do, I am creating, you fill in the blank. So I am creating the business that builds our dream life, or a thriving, happy team. You fill in the blank. So those are, I am worthy, I am capable of, and I am creating, and you get to fill in the blank. That's a really simple way to do affirmations if you want some guidance. But Joy, can you share some of yours as an example?
I did a couple of mine kind of almost from the place of what I already have too, because the life coach podcast that I listen to, she talks about wanting from a place of abundance. And so having things on your list that you already have. So a couple of them are things I already have that I'm just restating. But I started with, I am beautiful, strong, and worth it. That's kind of like a worthy one. I love my life and my family. I talked about how I attract women with passion, drive, and no drama. That's a favorite. I'm creating a legacy, leaving an impact. We are generous givers of our time, money, and resources. We're free from our past. I love myself and I'm at peace with my past and my present. I'm smart, capable, and successful. And then I did a couple like Jesus is for me and on my side. I don't fear income or success, nor do I feel guilty about it. That one was big for Ashley and I both. Mm-hmm. One of them is almost more like a mission statement. I said, today I choose to love others hard and to co-create a world of empathy, understanding, positivity, and change. So you can kind of go wherever you want to, really.
Yeah, and I'll upload like an outline of what I went by, because there is a section to create your mission statement too. So if you guys want kind of some guidance, I'll put that in the team page. But as silly as those sound, they're so important. There wasn't a top coach who spoke at Summit that did not talk about daily affirmations being one of their habits every single morning. So that's why that's on there. And you'll see that it's on there more than once. So you're going to do it in week 1 to get that X and week 2, as well as sharing your why for becoming a coach or a piece of your story. And then I have on here, participate in or host a challenge group and invite 10 people to join you. So a lot of these bingo squares, again, are just based on the vital behaviors of inviting, and you're going to get to X these off if you look at it weekly. Ones that I didn't go over. You get to put an X there when you help one new person get started with a challenge pack or Shakeology. Again, and attend a coach sneak peek. And here, if you guys are wondering, like, our sneak peek is this third week in July. That's the 19th where we're going live. So that's before that, you have twice inviting 5 people. So hopefully by the time that it gets around, you've at least invited 10 people to the event. Okay, I did put on here something scary for you guys. I said go live to share something you have learned or something that is working well in our team page. So first I want you guys to get comfortable practicing going live, because you might want to go live in a challenge group someday or on your personal page, or when you're all leading your own like huge diamond level teams, you're going to be going live in there. So it's like our team page is a safe place to get comfortable with things that are kind of uncomfortable. So you can go live, could be 60 seconds or less, just, hey, here's something I learned from personal development or something that's working well for me. So that's only on there once. Then we have help 2 new people get started with the challenge pack. That first one does count. So, but if this is just adding a second person. Try a new product that you've never used before and publicly post how it fills a need. So in our business, we tend to just focus on Shakeology or just focus on Beachbody On Demand. And Joy and I really want you guys to understand the power of just commission from other products and also building volume. So if you're not using something besides, just the workouts or just Shakeology, it's going to be hard to talk about anything else that you can offer to your customers. That's why you see, Joy does a really good job of sharing her Energize and her Recover and her workouts. You want to be able to offer people more than one thing. Like you heard Katie at the beginning of this call say she tried Energize, and that kind of led her to be like, okay, let's do this coaching thing. So I want you to pick something that you haven't done before and try it, and then talk about what kind of need it fills. By the end of the month, you'll have completed a personal development book. It can be audio, and hit Success Club 5. Hit 300 PV in the month, this month. That's an error. That's a typo. I'll fix it. But basically 300 PV means you've helped 2 people get started. It's your own Shakeology plus 2 extra people. And this bingo board is maybe slightly aggressive, but it's set up that way because you guys can do it. We have to stop playing small, right? You don't set goals based on what you have. You set goals based on what you want. So if you want a thriving business that serves more customers, you're going to have to shoot for things like Success Club. And then you don't ever decrease your targets. Like if things aren't going well, you're not like, okay, I'm going to message fewer people and maybe my goal is only 1 Success Club point. You always increase your actions. So like my goal this month, my big push goal is to hit Success Club every single week, which means I'll end the month with 20 or more Success Club points. So in order to do that, which I know I'm capable of, I just have to have more conversations. Like that's it. Just have more conversations. So when you're looking at this stuff, don't think, okay, I need to shrink down my goals. No, like what do you just have to do differently? It might just be adding in some actions. Like can you add 15 minutes a day to your power hour to do some more invites in the month of July? And then at the bottom, we have a bonus bingo. For coaches who also fill these bonus bingo spots, there's going to be a really big prize. So that's hitting 500 personal volume points, which is customer orders, remember, Success Club 10 or higher, and hitting Emerald or hitting it again. So like just adding 2 coaches to your team. All right, so when you fill in this bingo board in the month of July, and you can totally do it, you are going to get a Grit and Grace tank top. The coaches who went to Summit and already have one, if you fill in this bingo board, I said beanbag. I'm so tired. When you fill in this bingo board, we're gonna do. You're gonna get a tank top that you can give to one of your coaches on your team, and like a cool little wine tumbler that has the Grit and Grace logo on it. Then the bonus bingo, we have for everyone who hits the bonus bingo, we have the Grit and Grace tank top, the wine glass, and a $25 gift card. So there's some fun prizes. We might throw some extra stuff in there as well, but huge incentives prize-wise, but more than prize-wise, it's really just for you. Like if you hit Success Club, you'll earn $200 this month, at least. So this stuff is all just vital behaviors. Do you have any questions about the bingo board?
How are we tracking it? Like, it's okay, people could just check it off, but do we have a system of like, show us?
Well, you wouldn't really be able to. Well, the only thing we wouldn't know about is affirmations, right? Because these would be Success Club points.
Yeah.
Learn, rock the basics.
Maybe they could do a screenshot of their posts.
Maybe do a screenshot of your posts, yeah. Yeah, or just save it. Like you could even save the link to your post. If you do like your coming out post, just save the link to it. And then you could, in your notes or something, and then you could send it to us later. Or share it to the team page. Like if you're a new coach and you do a coming out post, or you do any post related to the business, you can always share it to the team page so that we can go and like give love on it. Because we don't always see what everyone posts in our newsfeed. So that would be another way. Any thoughts on that? Doing it differently as far as tracking?
I think it's gonna be fun.
I think it is too.
Prizes?
Yes, you were gone. Okay, so we said if you fill in the whole bingo board, the Grit and Grace tank top. If you're a coach who's gone to Summit, they get the Grit and Grace tank top plus wine glass with the Grit and Grace logo. And then if you get the bonus bingo board, you get those two prizes plus the $25 gift card, a $25 gift card. Okay. So the Beat Your Best month is also prizes from corporate. You're going to get a hat and you're going to get a medal. And if like, it's so easy. If you hit Success Club 5, you just have to get 6 points. If you're a brand new coach, you just have to hit it for the first time ever. Like they've made it really, really simple, and you don't even have to sign up for it, and they track it. So in your head, you're just like, I'm going to get this hat, and I'm going to help 3 people with a challenge pack this month.
And you get a medal.
And you get a medal, yeah.
The medals based on what Success Club points you get, right?
Yeah, there's a bronze, a silver, and a gold. And so like, if you beat your former Success Club record by 1 to 4 points, you get the bronze. I have to look at the FAQ.
Okay.
It goes up, like probably 5 to 10, you get the silver and something else. So one thing you guys might want to do after this call is go back and figure out what is the highest number of Success Club points you've ever hit. And Success Club really is, just remember, it's to inspire confidence in you, the coach, because you're helping a customer. You're getting commission, which is helpful, and it just develops some credibility. Like when you help someone get started with the program and they get awesome results, that gives you credibility as a coach, and you can say, hey, look at what my friend Erin did when she completed the ultimate reset. Like, look at her bomb-ass body. So don't overthink it. Like Success Club is just 3 people. Like what 3 people do you think would benefit from this? Okay. Joy wanted to do the next exercise. I'm waiting for her to come back. So I've been doing this training with a guy named Josh Coates, and one of the things he said is that he grew up in churches, and that whenever he'd sit in the pew, like pastors would always be talking about tithing and like what the church is not doing well to like bring in more visitors or help grow. It was never like what they're doing wrong. And he said every successful leader, well, he sat there and he promised God he will never blame someone else for his lack of success. And so what he said as a leader is people who are moving like forward and succeeding, they always just say, I need to get better. They don't blame other people. They don't like come up with excuses. They just say, okay, I don't have this, so I need to get better. And he says, what you have is because you worked for it, and what you don't have is what you didn't work for. So you can't blame like, well, people are just not into fitness this summer, or people are spending too much at the fair. I don't know. I don't know what you have, what you'll work for, and you don't have what you don't work for. So, Joy, hey, Scarlett. Hi. Okay, explain how we want them to practice their story on this call.
Oh, a testimonial.
Yes.
I'm a big believer in that stories sell, obviously, because we're taught that. And you should have a testimonial of your coaching story, but also your challenge group story. So you can combine the two, but you should practice having like a 1-minute testimonial. It's so hard, I think, as people who work online to have someone say like, oh, why did you get into that? And you're like, or then you want to like vomit a whole bunch of stuff and you don't really know how to get your words together coherently, like right now. So it's good to practice having a 1-minute, here's who I was before, and this came into my life, and this is what it did for me, and this is who I am now. And a great example of adverbs, I guess, that they used at Summit was feel, felt, found, right? I felt that way. I know you feel that way. Now, that's more for dealing with objections, but you could still say, I felt this way, and this is what I found. I think using feelings is big in stories. People like to connect with emotion. So try to use adjectives and really describe how you were feeling. And I think being vulnerable with that is important. So having it down to just a couple of sentences where you can just share a little bit and not in an intimidating way where people feel like, oh, now here she goes into the sales pitch, but more just in an honest, yeah, this is a little bit of my story, to where they'd be like, oh, that's really cool. Like, tell me more about that. That's what I thought.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, the purpose of having a good handle on that is because people are always going to have some sort of objection or skepticism, but they can't argue with your personal experience.
No.
Like, no one can tell me I didn't experience what I've experienced, or that like what's happened for me didn't happen. So if you can get a good grasp of your own story, it will even lead to things like being able to do a video invite. Joy's had a ton of success inviting people via a quick 1-minute video that she's DMing them on Instagram, which is, I mean, it's a really powerful tool because people get to hear your voice and they can see your sincerity rather than just reading text. I did craft mine to the business. I haven't been making a video with it, but I was like, okay, Ashley, you really need to like get a better handle of your story because it can change, and we're learning about that and Get Over Your Damn Self. But I just said being a military spouse means not having much freedom of choice. Before starting my virtual business, I felt, there's that word, like our life was even more caged by our limited income. As a mom of 2 little ones, I wanted to create financial freedom for our family and have a career I could carry with me wherever the Marine Corps sends us. I don't get to choose what part of the country we are sent to, but I do get to choose things like private education for my boys and lots of family vacations. I've grown a team and fun tribe of clients doing what I love, and I'm excited to help other women have more options too. So if I gave you an easy way to casually look into what I do as a coach, would you check it out? So there's feel what I felt, and then the if I would you statement. And mine's a little long, like I have to go back and shorten it, especially if it was a video, but like, what is true of your story? People are always like copying other coaches' scripts, or I think scripts are so helpful, especially for new coaches, but I think you always have to make them sound like you. Like, it has to be true to your life. Otherwise, people can always see through BS. Like, you don't don't BS about your business. What is your true story, and stick to that.
Well, and I've listened to Haley Christian talk a few times. She grew her business really fast. And every single invite, she does her story, whether it's coaching or it's her story with challenge groups. She's like, hey, I don't know if it's your thing, but would you want to join me in this group? I used to be, and she just launches right into it. I used to be working 19-hour days and I was miserable. And then I found this. And like, she shares her story for coaching, where she says, I used to be really uncomfortable in my own skin and I was this many pounds overweight. Now so she, with every invite, shares her story, because stories are powerful. And I think it feels a little more genuine when you share your story.
Well, and don't be so like self-obsessed that you think the same people are seeing your story every day, because they're not. Like, you're constantly sharing your story because someone new is watching. Like, not everybody you know is watching your same story all day, every day. So you do want to talk about it more than once. Joy, you'll like this. Josh Coates also said when he was goal setting with some coaches, like so you guys think about like a rank advancement goal. he said some people said they're going to be diamond by this time next year. He's like,
Oh my.
if you have a whole year to do something, you better come at me with something like, I'm going to be 15-star by next year. And too many of us like set goals that are either too small or they're too far away. Like, I'm going to hit emerald by the end of August. Emerald is 2 people that you like and you think would love the business too. Like, you can do that by next week. Why would you set it for 8 weeks down the road? So make sure that when you think about your business and goal setting and the power of sharing your story, that it all ties into the here and now and what you can do right away. Like, don't limit yourself. Like, we like to put a cushion. I'm going to be a diamond by the time it's my birthday in December. I mean, you can do that a lot quicker than December. So make sure you think, okay, what can I actually accomplish, and go after that thing. Does anyone want to, if I put you on the spot, Erin, I'm going to put you on the spot because you said you would share in our live coaching sneak peek. So if you were to give me a 1-minute invite to the business via video, what would it sound like?
You might want to picture someone that you actually are talking to.
Yeah.
Y'all are pretty. I like to look at y'all. Let's see. So I've changed my view, so I'm only looking at one of you, not like 15 faces. So be like, hey girl, I saw that you were liking my stories, and I just wanted to reach out and say, hey, I really appreciate it. And I see that the last few fitness posts I've made, you've liked them. So I'm curious, what do you think about joining me in this challenge group? It's going to be awesome. I don't know if you're a fan of Bravo Housewives and trashy TV like me, but I'm obsessed, and it's going to be awesome. Super fun. There's a lot of women just like you, some kids, moms, stay at home. Some girls are workers, but we're all just real and like to have fun. So I'd love to have you, and I think you'd be great at this. What do you think?
And I would say, yes, please. I want to spend all month with you in Trashy Housewives.
I love them. I can't quit.
Okay, I think that's all for tonight, right, Joy? If Erin, if you and Katie want to stay on, we can do a GSR like for 15 minutes.
That's fine.
Pipe in and practice at all?
Yeah, or Heidi or Amanda or Rachel.
Share your little testimonial.
I have part of mine.
Good, let's hear it.
I haven't finished because I was just thinking while you guys were talking. So I said I always felt lost and unsure of where I wanted to go or what I wanted to do. I didn't know what my purpose was, and I was negative, unhappy, and uncomfortable. While I'm still on my journey, I've had friends tell me that I've done a 180, and I'm confident and positive. So that's all I got. But that's where I ended.
You've had friends tell you that. Do you feel that way?
I do. And even though I'm not, and this is probably where I'll say, even though I did say I am on my journey, I'm not where I wanted to be. When I work out, even though I'm not the size I want to be, I feel like I'm there. You know what I mean? Like, just that one positive decision makes me feel so much more confident and better about myself.
And don't always feel like you need to keep explaining to people, well, I'm not there yet, because that's not what they're judging you about when they're listening to your story. They're just listening to how you have changed. So it's not like I'm not there yet, because it almost sounds like you're discounting the work that's happened and the change that has happened, and that's all legit. It doesn't matter. Like, you could still have big goals, going somewhere. That's great. But don't discount it by being like, well, I'm not there yet.
That makes sense, yeah.
You don't need to, downplay your story.
Yeah, okay.
Heidi, I love that. I love that you were brave enough to share that.
I need practice, so thank you for giving me a good place.
A couple of the girls I've invited to the business the last few days have actually been names that I wrote down when I was just thinking in my head, like, who would I like to do this? So let me shut the door. So I said that to them. When I did my little video to one of them, I was like, hey, I know this really may or may not be your thing, but I thought of you because I was making a list of girls that I would love to have on my team. And I totally thought of you because you love fitness, you're a real go-getter, you're a stay-at-home mom, like, and we would have so much fun together. And so I had to ask you, even though you might be offended or think like, you know, why is Joy reaching out to me? Because I just think you would be so much fun. So is it something like you would ever consider? And that's like it. I keep it real casual, real cool, but I tell them, like, I specifically wrote your name down out of the top of my head. I remembered you. Remember, Trina always say the, like, how someone told her, I noticed you. And that's so powerful because people want to be noticed. Be quiet. So it's the I thought of you, or I noticed you, or I remembered you. I think it's powerful.
Yeah, and you're not ever just saying that to say it. Like, I wouldn't invite people to my team that I don't want to actually have coffee with in person. So, like, if you're inviting someone, you're saying that because you mean it. Like, I thought of you because I admire you. Because ultimately, your team is a reflection of who you are. Like, the people you surround yourself are a reflection of who you are. And so you would want to invite people that you want to reflect your personality.
And when they can see you saying that in your video like that, they're not sitting here going, oh, Joy just wants to give me the spiel.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they're like, oh, wow, she's being genuine. And they've said no. They totally have. They've been like, yeah, no, it's not my thing. So, and that's fine. But at least they know.
Yeah. I actually had a mom today. I reached out to a woman today who loves fitness, and she's pregnant. And I invited her to the business, and she said, that actually she's 31 weeks pregnant and there's no way she could do this as a pregnant woman. I was like, actually, I knew you were in the home stretch of your pregnancy, which is why I invited you, because women are really inspired by, like, pregnant moms getting things done and the postpartum journey. And several of the moms on our team have just had babies or are expecting. Like, that doesn't slow you down. So when you're inviting, be willing to follow up with an answer to their objection. I like how Romy said in the book, Get Over Your Damn Self, like, objections are really just questions. They're just another question that somebody has unanswered.
Yep.
Okay.
And that they actually invite a genuine conversation. It's better than just no.
Yeah.
An objection gives you a chance to have a conversation.
Yeah. It means they're actually thinking about it.
Yeah, it does.
It's cool. All right. So for Katie, for your very first team call, are you like, holy crap? That was a lot of
I've been for days. Like, Erin adds me to a group and I'm like, oh my God, another one I got to look at. And I'm like, I don't even know where to start. But then you said don't worry about getting all the information. So.
Yeah, no, don't, like, it's more important to be like a student than a doer because you'll figure things out as you go. But,
yeah.
Wow, it's so loud at my house. Okay. So what Joy and I wanted to do was, like, Erin, if you're up for this, I don't know. We wanted to film the first half of a Getting Started Right call because we usually go over the same information in a Getting Started Right call. It's like just basic number goals. So we wanted to have that, like, on video that coaches could watch, and then have the second part of a GSR be in person where we're discussing their specific goals. So, like, we would still get together with Katie on Thursday, but we'd have already gone over, like, the back office stuff, or she would have. But if you guys are not able to stay on for that, that's okay.
I can. That's fine. Yeah, that's totally fine.
Katie, are you good with it?
Yeah. Carter's already in bed and the boys are still outside. So they don't need me.
All right. Well, if anyone else would like to be a part of our Getting Started Right call, you can stay on, but I know Amanda and Heidi and Rachel have had one, so I'll just say thank you guys for joining. And do you have any questions about bingo before we go?
Thank you for taking the time to do that.
Well, you're welcome. It's going to be fun. You just got to fill out the board.
I think Amanda is doing the GSR.
Thank you for doing this. Sorry, I got a lot of background noise here. If it's fine with you, I may stay on just to see the beginning of a GSR with everyone else in it and then hop off.
Yep, sure. Okay, cool. Well, I have to end this recording so that the team call is recorded. Hold on.